Hi, welcome to Gamer Nerds. I'm Leroy,
And I'm V.
and this is episode 3 of the podcast. Hopefully, we'll have it up Saturday. Are we doing Saturdays or Sundays? I think it's Sundays, right?
It's Sundays, honey.
Sundays. Listen, my brain don't work too good, and we all know this. Um, we are in. Just for a reminder for everyone, we're not only on YouTube. For the people to watch on YouTube, thank you. Uh, We are on TuneIn, YouTube, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Pandora, and Spotify. We have 3 topics for you. Whether or not we'll add more topics depends on the time.
Today
We're
is basically going to be catch up on some of the new games that were recently released.
and giving our reviews on them.
Yes.
Uh,
Spoiler free, of course.
yes, as much as possible. Well, there's not really a storyline for one of them, so that works in my favor because I'm really
Yeah.
bad with that. Uh, she got to play 2 of the games. I only got to play one because I only had money for one and I got the cheapest one.
And then I unfortunately shelled out quite a bit of money.
Not 100% sure if Lynn will be here though, to star guest on our final topic, but we will try and save it for last. But starting off, we have Kingdom Hearts, the new one
Ah,
out.
yes. The new Kingdom Hearts, Melody of Memories. So
Have you beaten it yet?
I have not. I'm actually trying to take my time. Mostly
Okay.
because my hands get tense with all the rapid clicking.
Oh
Um,
yeah, like every beast
Especially on,
because
like, the tiny little Switch controls, as you do.
yeah,
So, overall, I think it's a very fun game. If you like rhythm games like me, then it's definitely worth the money.
yeah.
If $60 is a little too steep, just wait for the price to come down, but definitely a fun game to play.
Which it should
It
hopefully go on sale because Christmas.
Hopefully, yeah.
It's a new game
It is
though, so don't expect
yeah,
like 50%. It's gonna be like 10 maybe if it does.
if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
So, essentially, the game is, a recap for the road so far, basically, but it is narrated by Kyrie. So she is basically explaining to you Sora's journey and not just Sora's journey, but like everyone else's
hmm
journey as well and what happens and what they go through. And
They
it's
did
actually
note
pretty nice.
there's like I want to say what they say anywhere from 5 to 10 cutscenes that are new.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was gonna get into afterward. Like there is new content. Some people are not happy with the content. Some people are okay with the content. I haven't found anyone who's like super happy with the content. I have not personally reached said content, but
hmm
um I'm more like in that middle group where it, it paves the road for something else, which is, the game that we kind of
Yeah.
really want. And
It
it's
also fills
entirely a
in
rhythm.
it definitely fills in info for people who don't know how to follow along the story because let's be honest, you need
It's a
3
little confusing.
scientists and a map and
It's
lots of bobby
not that
pins.
confusing, okay? You just need like 40 different charts and a lot of string.
It's basically the same as what I said.
Shit. If I had 4 hours, I could explain the entire plot of Kingdom Hearts to you, but we don't have that kind of time. So
Oh,
maybe one day.
maybe one
Um,
day.
so oh, you made me forget what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. Okay, so it has the old content in a new light,
Yeah.
and it's a rhythm game. It's pretty much only a rhythm game. You don't really get, as far as I can tell, any fighting gameplay, so nothing like, the actual Kingdom Hearts games or anything like that.
Just
Um
them weirdly dancing slash hitting things.
Oh, yeah, yeah, they're not like dancing. They're literally fighting as you play the rhythm game. I do have two small complaints about the rhythm game.
Mhm,
And the first one is that in certain quotes game modes there are like boss fight songs,
mhm.
and you have to move your joystick in the correct direction when you hit the correct button. So it's like
Yeah.
a two thing. So it's not hard, but then they have doubles, so you have to move both joysticks and hit both buttons.
Mhm.
So it's a 4-button combo, and the right joystick is a little oddly placed to be able to correctly time that.
Oh.
So one ends up being exceptional or excellent or whatever the rating is, and the other one is like poor, which is upsetting because
Just
I'm a
get your right
perfectionist.
just get your right foot in on it. It's fine. Just have that
Just
on
do
the
the hokey pokey,
thumbstick.
it's fine.
Yeah.
My other complaint is that being a huge Kingdom Hearts fan like I am, I have Kingdom Hearts music on my phone. And now that I've played the rhythm game, when the song comes on, I'm trying to keep time with the goddamn rhythm. Which is not really a complaint about the game per se. That's more so a me thing.
Well, I mean, it's a rhythm game. You're supposed to be on the beat.
Well, yes, but if I'm just listening to the music on my phone, I'm not supposed to be trying to keep rhythm.
Oh,
Like, freaking Dearly Beloved started playing on my phone, and I'm just like, not gonna work. It just
that's a yikes from me, boss.
that's all big ol' yikes.
Yikes.
But okay, for a rating so far, I think I would have to give it like a 4 out of 5. But that's
Four out of
because I
five?
like rhythm games.
Yeah.
Like I've played Theatrhythm, all those what the weird tap one on the DS. I don't remember what it was called.
Hmm.
Literally had to fight my sister for a save file on that. Anyway, like if you don't like rhythm games, then it's definitely not for you. You can just look at the cutscenes online. Um, if you do like rhythm games, I definitely recommend getting it eventually.
Oh yeah. Which that's
All
one of
right.
the reasons why I'm like excited for it is because I do like rhythm. I want to
Yeah.
play it. I would love to stream it, but I gotta wait to
You
get the game.
well, yeah, you need the game and a capture card.
Yeah. Honestly, I want to play uh the new game that we're about to get on topic for too, but yeah, for otherwise I would 100% be playing that on stream, or like probably more than what I'm streaming right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I
well,
mainly just want to play Zelda just because like her
okay, so
combat system's great.
I'll actually get into that. So our next topic, obviously, is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, which released on the 20th, I think. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
20th,
And the
and
graphics look good. I
the
haven't seen
graphics
them
are so
personally.
nice. Like
They
they're
hold up compared to the
oh yeah,
previews.
compared to Breath of the Wild, it's absolutely
Well, I was
still
more meaning like the
stunning.
previews. Like the previews show off the
Oh
details
yeah,
well enough. Okay.
yeah. If there's a lot going on, there is a bit of a frame drop, but
Have you tried it docked? Is there still a frame drop docked? Because I know docked
I
increases
haven't
how it uses.
I haven't tried it docked yet. I'll try that next time, but mostly I play in handheld mode, so
Yeah.
docked isn't really usually a thing I even think of.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the game is absolutely gorgeous.
Hmm.
It definitely does not play like Breath of the Wild. Obviously, it's a Hyrule Warrior game.
Oh yeah.
Um, if you ever played um, Dynasty Warriors, it's like that, but it's got like
Which I
slightly
love
different.
Dynasty Warriors
I
so
love
much.
Dynasty Warriors too so much. It was such a fun
I
game.
have a Dynasty Warriors game on my Switch.
You do? I didn't know they had one.
They have a lot.
Okay, well, cool. I'll have to look into that.
Oh,
Okay, so
I think it's
Hyrule
missing
Warriors.
something too, by the way. So we'll get to that later. But I might be able to just give you my account login info and you download it and try it.
Nah, that's fine.
Um,
Anyway, so Hyrule Warriors, the previews, everyone kind of knew this before the game even came out.
mhm,
It involves time travel. You have this tiny little robot who's adorable. I have the keychain from the pre-order. It's
absolutely.
adorable. It makes these cute little sounds.
I want the
So
keychain so bad.
I have the keychain. It's so cute.
Bitch.
So he ends up going through this portal and he ends up back in time before the calamity, before pretty much anything important really happens in the past. And you get to run around as Link, Zelda, Impa, all of the champions. I've also gotten
Eee.
to fight as Hestu so far, which is a little weird,
Ooh.
but I definitely enjoy the move where he just summons a bunch of Koroks and they all just start pelting the enemies with like stuff,
Yes.
which is hilarious to watch. Um, it's really fun to fight as the champions. The only one I don't really like so far is Daruk, but that's because Daruk has a very slow kind of fighting style,
Yeah,
and he's definitely more tanky than the others. So,
which just
that's just not really
happens.
my forte. Um,
Hmm.
Everyone definitely has their own playstyle, and I really like that they took the time to make all of these different playstyles for all of these characters. Because obviously, Impa isn't going to fight like Link. You know,
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like that's just not gonna happen.
For Link, you actually do get to alternate between weapons, so you have like one-handed sword, two-handed sword, spear, etc., etc. It's really fun. They all have different
I mean,
combos.
he's basically a master of every single weapon. Like at this point,
Yeah.
like every weapon they give him, he's just had to learn, pick it up, and be like, "All right, gotta defeat the world with this."
I will defeat Ganon with the wooden spoon. I've actually seen playthroughs like that. It's
Yeah, I know.
terrifying. But, like, I haven't beaten the game yet, so I don't know how the story ends, but we do get to meet some new characters, which is always fun.
Ooh,
We
like
do get to
brand new people.
like, brand new people, like,
Ooh,
unfortunately, I'm really upset because there's a Yiga clan member who's actually hot.
what?
Yeah. You know, the Yiga, the really stupid,
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
Sheikah people? Yeah, no, this guy is
Mm-hmm.
big and he's buff and he's strong. He got a deep ass voice. And I'm like, "Oh, honey,
I want.
defect,
I
please."
want. I want. I want. Ugh.
Yeah. Um,
That's just like all the Ganon porn from whenever Breath of the Wild came out.
yeah, which is nice. But anyway,
Yeah.
um, yeah, so we get new characters like Suga. There's this weird seer
Mm-hmm.
guy that's, plot relevant. Um so far I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. It's definitely different than Breath of the Wild. I went in expecting it to not be anything like Breath of the Wild, so I'm not disappointed. Anyone who buys Hyrule Warriors shouldn't expect it to be like Breath of the Wild. It's not an open world game. It's a series of quests basically, and you can like there's the line of main story quests, and then there's like optional side quests that you can do, and you can do those side quests to level up your characters and like get extra hearts, get extra
Mm-hmm.
combos. Not all of them are like fights. Some of them are just like, okay, well, you turn in this item and we give you this reward. So, overall, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Definitely 5 out of 5 stars.
Oh yeah. Also, sorry to sidetrack you, but I just looked it up because I was gonna mention it a little bit on the podcast, but we're not we're not we're not getting another DLC for Monster Hunter now.
No.
They're making basically a new one with more weapons and stuff and more monsters that's gonna be released on PC, Xbox, or like the new Xbox and a new PlayStation. That they're
You see Master
hoping
Race?
that they're hoping to be cross-platform.
Alright, alright, okay.
which means lots of server issues the first 2 months of gameplay. So
Well, I mean, we're already having server issues, but I
well, that's why they're working on the servers right now. Because they're still they okay. So from what I've read in their statements, they might release this a second DLC to hold us over until the new game comes out. But they also said, hey, the game's been out for 2 years now. We release new Monster Hunter games every 2 years. We might just make a new one. And then that got people questioning them, be like, well, what if with the new one, are y'all gonna just kill it after 2 years? Like with that, or are you gonna keep putting out DLCs? And they're saying basically the next one, they'll start releasing a DLC every single year until the game is dead and they have nothing else to do with it. But
alright,
each
I mean,
DLC is gonna be like a whole nother game,
well,
kind
I
of
don't
like
understand why they
Iceborne.
can't just do that with
Updated graphics, all that other shit for console,
yeah, I
and plus
guess.
they said they're going to do better with porting it to PC, which that makes me
Mm,
happy.
yeah, that is
Because
nice.
honestly, it uses way too much of your graphics card than it should for the game it is. Let's be real. But, anyways, continue.
Oh, no, I finished with Hyrule Warriors. 5 out of 5 stars, definitely recommend.
Oh, hell yeah. We're definitely going to have to do some random topics then, because this next part's only going to be like 5, maybe 10 minutes, and that would
That's
put us at 26 minutes.
that's fine.
um, so, how to put this?
We'll start off with the name of the game.
Atlas Reactor. It is a good game for what they were trying to build, but they misled what the game was going to be. Of course, it is early access. You would expect things not to work, but they put co-op, which should not have been early access, that should have been unplayable, out, and just put beta next to it. It was like, go ahead and use it, but like, if you want a non-buggy gameplay, do solo. And then they had it to where unlocking characters was broken for like a good 2 to 3 weeks after release. When it worked on their end, they ported theirs in. Who the fuck fucked up porting it to make it broken? They also said they couldn't do the old file like style of gameplay, which you can ask me and you can ask Lynn. There is 100% a way to get that done. 1 second. But okay, so now that I'm done typing, but there was 100% a way to do it, and it would have played just fine. They even showed what they tried to, or they when they ported it over, and did the old style of gameplay where it was everyone did it at the same time, and then they're like, the AI just does things like it should, and we're sitting here like, okay, AI is gonna be predictable. That's part of being playing PvE. You cannot help that. So if you literally, you could have made easy mode, hard mode, or easy, medium, and hard mode. It would have been fine. Changing how the AI reacts, because that's literally what you had when the game was PvP. You had PvE also, which was just you versus bots, and you could change their difficulty and it worked fine. And this is the same abilities, same everything, with a storyline, Which, by the way, the storyline isn't fully out yet. You technically can't even finish the game. The final mission always kills you. There's no way to beat it yet. Because they're still
Well, that just
balancing
sounds
it.
dumb.
Well, it's pre-alpha. Or it's early access. They were like, we're going to tweak it later. Right now, we made it impossible so that way you can just test out the bugs and stuff and not see the ending because we don't have the ending finished. But every time you run through it makes them easier and easier because you're slowly dwindling and getting better, and your characters are leveling up, getting stronger, all this other stuff. Anyways, in the simplest way to put it, I can't wait to see what the game is going to be like. I hope it ends up being everything I want and everything I dreamt it was and everything Lynn put in my head about the game. Which I'm never letting Lynn live that down. She told me about a game that was dead and got me so interested in it that I wanted to play it so bad that I can't play it. And it was eating me inside that I couldn't play it. But now I have this one. They might be adding PvP, which will basically be normal Atlas reactor instead of, or Atlas Atlas reactor instead of what it is right now. Wait, no, is it this one's Atlas reactor? I forgot what the other one was. No, this one's Atlas Rogues. That was Atlas reactor. The old one was Atlas reactor. But like the game is fun. It has a lot of flaws they need to work on. The co-op is basically unplayable. I haven't played in a while. They don't do any marketing other than on their own website, which is Gamingo. And no one plays Gamingo games. No one. So their marketing isn't getting out there to anyone. No one knows this game exists except old players who follow their Twitter. That is it. That is ridiculous. If they would, get the name out there a bit more and stuff like that, people would be more interested in it, which I would love more people be interested in because I find the game fun. I really do. As much as I complain about all these different things they should have fixed and should be fixing, which, by the way, the game devs watching their live stream kind of threw me way off because they said some things that were not correct. Yes, their ideas were good, but the way that they tried to be like, well, my idea is good because of this, like their reasoning behind it was bad. Like, honey, the game before was playable, everyone loved it, and lots of people watched it. Not that many people played it because it was hard to play, which is one of the reasons why I want to play it so bad, because it is literally like a chessboard, but with abilities, and it was so good. Like, what TFT is right now, but better. Like, you control a single character and you're guessing each of their moves and you're hiding behind cover and stuff, and like all at the same, and it is like same turn. Like, everyone locked in their thing and it all happened at once. Of course they zoomed in on each thing, but still, like, oh my god, it like I would have loved to play that.
And yet, that's what
And
you got.
and yet I got this PvE that's kind of garbage to some degree that needs a lot of fixes. And they said they might not even add in PvP. The only way they'll add it in is if enough people ask for it, which the whole community's like, add it back in. That's what we want. We didn't want this PvE. Which, don't get me wrong, people that have never played Atlas Reactor, or Atlas Reactor, they're like, the PvE is great. We love it, which it is. I've never played Atlas Reactor, and I love the PvE, and I love how they did it and everything. But, like, they were hyping it up to be too much of, like, an Atlas Reactor game. And then it was almost nothing like it. All you have is the characters in the story that make it Atlas Reactor based. And then it's, quote, in the same universe. That's literally what they kept trying to sell it as. It's in the same universe, so it is an Atlas Reactor game. But it's like, yeah, it's the same people in the same universe, but it doesn't make an Atlas Reactor game. What made Atlas Reactor was the same turn, like same turn-based gameplay and the PvP and like the strategy behind it. That how much thinking you had to put into it. How like it was what I've wanted so many games to be. And I'm so sad I wasn't able to play it because sadly at the time I didn't have a computer and I didn't know it existed when it was out. Like, if they would bring that back up and just bring the servers back up, like, I would go back to that and I would try and become a professional player of it. I watched pro gameplay of that game and I was like, it blew my mind. It's so good compared to this. Literally what I'm calling the disaster. It is a good game if you take away the Atlas reactor part. But if you add that in, it is a disaster. And it's the same dev team working on it with some new people. So how are y'all saying that this is any different? And they sat there and complained. It was like, well, it's a new engine. It's a new engine. You can port it over from different engines. And I know that for a fact. I have literally taken video game design classes. I have built a few indie games myself back when I was in college. Like, it's not as hard as you make it to seem, and I know exactly what engines they're using, and you can port over from those engines, and then you have to manually do the fixes, and it's not that hard. It really isn't. So it pisses me off that they're sitting here like, well, it's not the same because you need to be. Shut up. Just say you didn't want the game like that. Stop making excuses and just say you don't want the game
But
to
then
be the
people
same.
won't buy it.
Well, yeah, I know, but that's their own fucking fault. If they don't want the game to be like that and they want people to buy it, then they should have made it the same. This is on them, and this is their publicity stunt that they're trying to get old players and old viewers back. When it shouldn't be. It should just be, as our petition that 1 million people signed says, we want the old game back, turn on the servers, and bring it back to Steam. Because it's not anywhere. Just reopen the Steam page and bring the servers back. We don't need any fancy graphics because the game plays so fucking well. That's all we wanted. That's all we asked for. I signed that petition. A lot of my friends signed that petition. That's all we asked for. And instead, you brought us a PvE bullshit and tried to pass it on as Atlas Reactor. That took 15 minutes.
Just to vent.
Just to vent that out.
I mean, that's fine.
Anyways, one of the topics that we wanted to get into after that, I'm just going to leave it at that. And if Lynn is available, let me double check. She is not. Okay, so Lynn's not available, so we might get her on later to talk about it because she can put out some really good points on like why it's good and why it's bad. I just vented about it because I can't go into details without getting angry. Because it's not the game I wanted. It's not the game they advertised.
Not the game you paid for.
Not the game I paid for. And I can't even refund it. They aren't doing refunds.
Well, yeah, they'd have to give all of the money back.
Yeah. They let like 100 something refunds go through before they closed refunds. Not even kidding you. Because they realized, oh shit, we fucked up. We can't have this happening. Anyways, we want to go through a topic about impossibly hard games. And yes, that includes Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne. But we have
Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yes, we have Super Ghouls and Ghosts added because, you can't really talk about impossibly hard games
literally
without
made
Ghosts.
me rage quit.
Yes.
As a child. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Massively. Like, literally, we wanted to talk about Super Ghouls and Ghosts and Kingdom Hearts 3 optional DLC and Grab by the Ghoulies because they're impossibly hard games, but you can't really talk about those without talking about Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne because everyone's obsessed with them whenever it comes to impossibly hard games, which, don't get me wrong, I love Dark Souls. I play it, but I don't think it's as impossibly hard as everyone fucking says.
My issue with the quotes impossibly hard games is that like there's just no reward. Like okay, there's a reward, you struggle, you fight the thing, you win finally, and then you take 3 steps and then you die
Hmm.
again.
Yeah.
And that's the part that really frustrates me. Like, yeah, you can have challenges in your game, but not every fight should be a challenge. Like, I cannot begin to explain to you how many times I died in Dark Souls.
I mean, dying is just a part of it, but
Well, yeah, I know, but
I
like
mean,
that
pretty
just
much all these games is dying is a part of it because one thing, okay, I will say, as much as these games, I'm the same as you. Like, what's the reward? But like, the reward is more of like testing your mental strength because you have to memorize attack patterns and the first time you go in, and if you on the fly and hope you don't die, or learn them all before you die and then go in the second time prepared, or the third time prepared if you didn't see enough the second time, which I can all we could also say that we could also say that about like raids, dungeons, and all that in Final Fantasy 14 and just any MMO really, because like there are some that it's like holy shit, don't step in this AOE's, move here, holy crap, because you got to learn it.
well, yeah, but like with the MMOs, they're all very obviously telegraphed.
Yeah, which
And then like Demon Souls, Dark Souls, fucking Bloodborne. Okay,
I mean their
okay.
attack
I have a
patterns.
specific, I have a specific argument that I want to make about fucking Bloodborne. Okay,
Yeah,
but like Dark Souls, Demon Souls, like it just got to the point where I would take 5 steps, I would fight something, I would die, I would fight it again, I would die, I would fight it again, take 3 steps, and then die. And that's the point where I would turn it off every time
yeah.
because
Well,
like
that's another thing
I'd
with
like
the
to take
game
more
is
than
the
3 steps.
patience.
Well,
It
I'm sorry. There's patience, and then there's I spend most of this time on this one boss, and I'm not actually exploring. I'm not
Yeah.
actually having fun. I'm not actually, doing the things that I want
I
to do
will
in a game
say
like this.
I will say Dark Souls 3, 100% I haven't beaten it yet, which I would love to. I haven't played through all of it because I don't play games by myself. But it is easier to play with your friends on it, thankfully. Because
Well, that's good.
you set up a code, or y'all both set up a code in the settings, and then anyone with that code that has the same code can link up easier. You find the summoning thing easier. But I will say that playing the game, any of the Dark Souls, is a lot more fun with a friend. I didn't play through Dark Souls 1 by myself. I played with 2 other friends. We went through the whole thing together. That, yes, that means technically we beat the game 3 times. I know. Because each person has to fight the boss. Each person has to do that, which a lot of people could argue made the game easier because you got 3 times the amount of souls. But not so much when I was the only one that knew how not to die and how to block. My friends made it harder on me in many ways because when they were hosting, they would die and kick us out. Because like you can't stay if the summoner dies. You can't stay if you die. But my issue is I never died helping them, and I never died when they helped me. I'm not even kidding you. My whole run through, I died twice. They died, which caused all of the like stress and anguish. Which then I started seeing, wait, y'all just don't understand the attack patterns? And they're like, no, we don't. I'm just like, well, okay, so let me show you. And I'd go in and I'd like do it while they're off in the side. Like, and I'd even tell them, all right, because y'all have been standing there for this amount of time and he's already done these 3 combos, he's gonna recirculate to who he's going to attack. So one of y'all be ready because it's gonna be one of y'all to, not me, because y'all are further away. He thinks y'all are low health because you're further away. Which that's kind of just how the AI works. The furthest person away is normally the one bad at rolling, dodging, everything like that, or is super low health and trying to heal. So they auto target whenever they're done with their attack pattern to that person, and then does their attack pattern again towards that person. And it can change mid fight too. Occasionally, it's randomized to the point where it's like a flip of a coin before each swing or whatever, or not swing, but like let's say he dashes forward, then swings right, and that's attack 1. Then he would flip a coin, and if it lands heads, he stays on that target, but it does it instantly. If it lands tails, he switches the targets real fast and continues the attack pattern, or continues on to the next attack out of his, like, let's say 5-step attack pattern. And that, I had to explain that to them, and after that, they honestly did like really well. Like, of course, they still died, but I helped them a lot with like the, oh, be careful here with this, oh, be careful here with this, and that's why I really, really like them. I don't like playing games alone, of course. Like, that's just who I am. But like, I loved I love these challenging games. And if it's not challenging enough for me, at least it will be for my friends, which makes it harder on me.
I mean, that's fair. Um, See, now I feel bad just ragging on the game because, like, you really like it, but also, like,
Well, no,
fuck that game.
I'm perfectly fine with people ragging on it. Like, that's just gonna
Well,
happen. Like, people
like
are
like
gonna
for
rag on it.
me, the learning curve on like Dark Souls, Demon Souls, whatever, is just like incredibly steep. And like I've played games where the
Yeah.
learning curve is steep, but that's oh
It
boy,
This game adds
that's
in a lot of mechanics from a lot of different games that honestly made a masterpiece. Not gonna lie, it made a masterpiece of like game mechanic wise. But it took like fighting games and like a mixture of like RPG games and all the like all the like games other than shooter, of course, because there's no guns in the game that you just aim down sights and glack glack glack. But they took RPG, MMO, and like or like fighting games like Mortal Kombat, like all that. They took all those mechanics and made these types of games with it, and it's honestly like really cool.
yeah. Not gonna lie, I when I first played Bloodborne, I couldn't figure out how to change my equipment, so I went through like the first 3 bosses with the starting equipment.
Damn, girl, proud of you.
I kept dying and I couldn't figure out how to change the equipment. I just got so mad I ended up selling the game.
Damn.
Like I kind of wish I hadn't because like I do like the aesthetic of Bloodborne and I do kind of wish I could go back and play it, but
Honestly, I feel like
I
you'd really
sold it in a
like
fit
Dark
of
Souls
rage.
3. I feel like you would really like it, and it would be easier to play, especially since I need someone to play it with. I was gonna play it with Nai, but she played once and then got so frustrated and quit. Um, but um, but in short, like, if you ever do want to play Dark Souls 3 and you get the chance to get it, which by the way it's like $10 this month, so if you have the spare $10 and you want to give it another shot, I will play through the whole game with you. I'm not even kidding you. I will
More than
help you with
likely
everything.
not.
But like these types of games is like really fucking cool. We got another 20 minutes, so we can or we have 20 minutes left roughly of the podcast, so we're going to quickly go over these last 2 subjects and then end it there. However, I say subjects, but last 2 games, um and then we'll in the podcast. So it's gonna be, we'll leave Kingdom Hearts 3 optional, but do you want to do Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone knows that I am a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
anyone who knows me knows that I have a Keyblade hanging on my wall in front of me. Okay, and when I got Kingdom Hearts 3, I was stoked. Like I've been waiting years for this, and
Mm-hmm.
then like I played through it. I beat the game. Was a little sad, but whatevs. And then the fucking DLC came out, and I was stoked. And then it turned out that like it's a recap of the ending from a different perspective. And then hey, all that's left is a series of boss fights that are impossibly hard. And
Yeah.
this is someone who has beaten every single optional fight in a Kingdom Hearts game. Like
Mhm.
every other Kingdom Hearts game. I own every other Kingdom Hearts. I own every Kingdom Hearts game. Oh my god. I have beaten every optional boss in every Kingdom Hearts game. And
Yeah.
then this DLC is painful. And it sucks because like I'll get like super close to winning and then it just one mistake, one, and then you're dead.
Mhm.
That's it. That's all it takes. And there's 13 of them. 13 of them. And like they're rehashes of their previous fights, where
Yeah.
Sora had to kill them and like
Which I actually remember, like, you doing them for, like, a month.
I tried. You were literally on call with me sometimes
Mhm.
where I was just
But,
raging. It's
like,
like I got
I'm
so close and then just
and and then even if I wasn't, I'd message you and be like, "Hey, wanna play this?" And you're like, "I need to finish these." I was like, wasn't that, like, 2 weeks ago?" And you're like, "Yes!" I'm like, "Do do you need help? Can I help somehow?" And you're just like, "It's" you literally just went on a tangent. Like, it's way too hard for no fucking reason. Like, I've done every single optional boss. There's no reason for them to be this hard. I just want to full 100% this game. Like, I have every single other one. And you just went on a tangent. I was sitting there like,
I yeah, pretty much what
oh
I'm
my
saying
gosh,
now.
you've broken.
I got broke. I got broke, dude. I did. I like
Dude, there was so much shit that we were trying to get done that month. Like, we wanted to play a bunch of games that month. And, like, because it was I think, wasn't it the last month that I was there in that house?
yeah.
And I was like, we wanted to do a bunch of stuff and get a bunch of stuff done, and you were like sucked into it, and I don't blame you. I was just like, honey, are you
And then just screaming, "No!"
like there was a point she came like I was in the middle of a stream. She ran into the room, put her head on the back of my head, and goes, Leroy, I need cuddles. And I was like, all right, guys, I gotta end stream. She's having another breakdown.
Like, look, okay, it's I know some bosses are supposed to be hard, like Sephiroth and Terra
Like that
and
just happens.
yeah, like it's supposed to be hard. You're supposed to have to work for it. And then there's this and like fuck it, one of them, I think it was Marluxia.
Yeah.
No, it
No?
was it was it was the Thunder bitch. Larxene, that's the one. I got in and literally 3 seconds in she did her combo and I died.
Hmm.
And I think that was when I went to you for cuddles cuz like how do you recover from that?
Honestly.
Like 3 seconds, I made it 3 seconds. And then just and what is the payoff for winning these fights? Bragging rights? I spent like 150
I mean,
hours trying to do this and then like a single cutscene. A single
yeah.
cutscene.
I mean, like, worst comes to like, literally the only way you get more than just a single cutscene out of that is if you recorded it and then posted it to YouTube as one of the first people that did it. But like at that point, people literally were like tryharding it so bad that there was like over 1,000 videos of people like, I finished it. Like that you wouldn't have
Well,
even
like,
gotten
and then
recognition for it. Like you could even be like, look, I did it.
yeah, like, and that's the fucked up thing. People were like, okay, well, put it on, basic bitch difficulty, and then it's, slightly easier, and you can do it. And then it's just like, I shouldn't have to play on basic bitch difficulty to have a chance.
Right?
Like, I've beaten all of these other bosses, and y'all just, ugh.
Which, like, don't get me wrong, the get good thing is I will always tell someone if they're playing on the hardest difficulty, if they're having problems, just practice and get better, like, or
I
aka
spent
good
like,
good. But like this shit was way too hard. I even got to play it, and yes, I am weirdly adept at video games to where I can look at something and be like, all right, I have it picked up, and it's been like 30 minutes, but like even that, it's like, bro, no. Like I maybe got through 2 of the bosses without dying, and then the third one I just got stuck on.
valid. I think I have like 5 out of the 13 beaten currently. Yeah.
One day.
Needless to say, 0 out of 5 would not recommend the DLC.
Yeah, honestly. Did you want to go over Super Ghouls and Ghosts real
Mm-mm.
fast? No? Okay. Then I'm gonna go over Grab by the Ghoulies real fast. Which, by
Mm-hmm.
the way, this game needs a remake and ASAP. I want it now. If not, I'm gonna have to do an emulator to play through it. But Grab by the Ghoulies was one of these. It was an impossibly hard game, and not because of the fact that like the combat was hard. They made it to where they like the company itself was banning people for sharing details on the game. Like they were like if you posted it on, which at the time it was normal Xbox, it you would go to game cheats or whatever the fuck the website was. You know which one I'm talking about, like the one that you
Mm-hmm.
would Google for like Game Boy, anything, like anything. It had all the
Mm-hmm.
cheats, cheat codes, everything. Like that website, if you don't know what that is, you're too young, please leave. um but like they were banning people off of the website for putting that stuff in. Well, not like banning, but banning them from that section and like taking it down instantly. Like you had to have been lucky to see cheats on it. Because they wanted you to figure it out yourself, and this game was like impossibly difficult, puzzle wise, combat wise, everything. My mother was the one that saw it because she was like, "Oh my god, it's cute! I love it! I want to play it!" Because like, oh my god, the graphics were so cute. Honestly, the graphics still hold up to this day. It was one of the last games made on the Xbox before it was like moved to the 360. Like the graphics hold up. It was really good, well made. And like the controls were nice, everything was really nice about the game. But god, it was hard. The combat was horrible. My mother bought it because it was cute, and she made me and my stepdad, my first stepdad, um the one that gave me the eating disorder. We'll get, that's another topic for another day. That's not really a gamer nerds thing. But like made us play it, and like we had, girl, it took us a year to beat the game with a full 8 hours on Saturday and Sunday every week set
Oh,
aside to play that
honey,
game. It took us a year. That game also was massive, and like 6 discs.
valid though.
Yeah.
Do you know what you just did? Good luck with your
Honestly,
new
I miss
Supreme.
multi-disc games because like you knew that shit was gonna be long.
Oh yeah. Phoenix Plays, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the podcast. We're actually about to finish up the podcast and go back to gaming. But yeah, so quick recap. Podcast is on TuneIn, YouTube, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Pandora, and Spotify. We went over the new Kingdom Hearts game, the Beat one. Good rating, good game.
4 out of 5, definitely recommend.
Yeah. We went over Hyrule Warriors, the new one.
5 out of 5, definitely recommend.
New characters and everything. Honestly, I wish I could play so bad. The disaster of a game, Atlas Rogues, the
0 out of 5, do not recommend.
2.5 out of 5. It's more of if you like it, or if you've never played Atlas Reactor, you'll like it. If you've played Atlas Reactor, you'll be disappointed in it. Um, and then we talked about impossibly hard games: Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Super Ghouls and Ghost, Kingdom Hearts 3 optional DLC bosses, and Grab by the Ghoulies Xbox. I've seen Hyrule Warriors. Defo want to get that. Oh yeah, 100%. Like it looks so good. V has it.
Five out of
That look.
five, 100% recommend. Best $60 I've spent all year.
Oh yeah. And then like I want it so bad. I'm trying not to watch gameplay of it. But god, I want to play it on stream so bad. But I bought fucking Cyberpunk instead because it was either that's on Switch, right? Yeah, it's on Switch. But I want it so bad, but I needed Cyberpunk. I'm doing a 24-hour live stream on Cyberpunk, by the way, for the guys that are listening to this on Spotify and all that. On my stream, twitch.tv/Leroy Valentine. It will be on I'll be doing 24-hour live stream of that on the day it releases. Like the second it's out, that's when the 24-hour live stream starts. I might be live 3 or 4 hours beforehand, just like, anticipation. But after that, it's 24 hours.
Give a
Which
date.
that's December 10th. That's when it's
There you go.
supposed to be out. If it's not out, then if it's delayed,
We'll
then I'm
see.
just gonna, yeah. By the way, during that 24-hour live stream, if we reach our goal of 25 subs before or during that 24-hour live stream, I will be going on for 48, and then we'll increase it to 50 subs. And if we hit that 50, guess what? I'm going to die because we're doing 72.
Honey.
What? Promo.
Honey.
But I'm super excited for the game. Honestly, Phoenix, anything to give me a I mean, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome. But I'm also gonna be dead and delirious, and but wow, yeah, honestly.
Tell you what, if you get to like, if you end up having to do the 48 or the 72-hour stream, like just leave your computer running and like I'll take over for like 2 hours or something so you can take a cat nap.
Hell yeah. Also, did you want to mention what y'all are doing to me on New Year's?
Yes. That's a 24-hour live stream again, right?
Well, maybe. It depends.
if okay. So the goal is a 24-hour live stream. That was his original plan for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And a friend of ours is going to
Two people
are going to bring Leroy here some alcohol, and he's going to get absolutely blasted on New Year's. And if he can make it through 24 hours, I do his next emotes for free.
Oh my god. Wait, next emote? Well, it's only one emote slot. So
Okay, I do your next emote for free if you can make it 24 hours while completely blasted.
Dude, I don't know if I can.
Yeah, see, that's the stakes.
Okay.
The stakes.
What if I make it at least 12? Do I get 50% off?
Sure.
Okay.
For every hour you make of the 24, you get such and such % off. How's that?
Okay. While blasted.
While
Apparently.
blasted. You gotta be blasted.
What if it's just a constant buzz with the occasional "Hi, Joker"?
No, you gotta be fucking blasted.
Fuck.
You gotta take a shot of like the hard stuff at least every hour.
I want it duly noted that that this is only happening if I'm not paying for the liquor, because that's way too much liquor. So them two better come through with liquor. I can't.
Yeah, otherwise you just straight up don't get the emote.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm still gonna do the 24 hours. I'm just not gonna be drunk, which means I don't get the emote. But yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get hoo-ya? I know some people that can help you get through it. I'll post link in their Discords when the time comes. Hell yeah, thank you.
He's gonna need all the support he can get.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's it for the podcast. Leroy here is going to get back to gaming over here on Twitch at Leroy Valentine.
Twitch.tv/Leroy Valentine. Yeah, we're done with the podcast. Thank y'all so much for listening once again.
You may be hosting the Coven, but the Coven hosts the best parties.
Thank you for the host.
Thanks, Phoenix.
But yeah, Tuned In, YouTube, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Pandora, and Spotify. We do this randomly throughout the week. We post every 2 weeks. So if you want early access, come listen and /watch directly on the stream. We're gonna hopefully try and be able to notify y'all like a week in advance when we start doing it. It's just been a little weird recently.
This is us just starting. This is our 3rd podcast, so hopefully we'll get a little better at this.
Yeah. Bye.